Welcome to Ag Experts, a series of conversations with the experts who are leading the way to help commercial agriculture become more sustainable. I'm your host, Amy Yoder. As a sixth-generation farmer and the CEO of Anuvia Plant Nutrients, I'm privileged to have a front row seat to the amazing people, technology, and process changing large-scale crop production. I would like to spend a little bit of time on sustainability because there's a lot of talk in the media, in the press on, farmers and they're not being sustainable, or there's, you've heard everything from greenhouse gases that come from cattle to soil erosion and lack of soil health. And I'd love it if you could talk a little bit about how farmers really think about sustainability and some of the practices they're putting into place to be able to contribute to sustainability long term. I always say sustainability is the first thing a farmer thinks about because land is their biggest asset. And if you don't take care of your land, it won't produce year after year after year. But I'm curious on your thoughts.
Well, I would agree with you on that, and let's remember that even though we have some very large tracts of land or farming operations, the vast majority of them are family operations. And what a farmer wants, more so than anything else, is to be able to continue to pass that on to the next generation. That makes them smile, as you know, Amy, when you look and your family farm is in how many generations, and they talk about that. And that can only happen when you have sustainability. And sustainability in three areas: environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, and societal sustainability. And sometimes I think we focus a little too much just on one of those rather than all three, and we need to take all three into that. Now, we spoke a second ago here about economic sustainability and the importance of scale in order to be able to make that happen. If we look at environmental sustainability, this is extremely important. And I think we're using technology much better today to allow us to do that. We can monitor, we can look at all these areas. Let's be honest though, we still have a long ways to go here. Cattle in their own way take plants, and they release the carbon into the atmosphere. They do it through their guts and the way they do things. Now we're starting to come up with some new technologies that will limit the amount of methane that goes into that area. That's a different area. But we also look at agriculture and forestry are the only two natural carbon sinks that I know of. So when we have plants and what we're doing with continuous cropping and keeping the grasslands in place to take the carbon from the air and sequester it into the soil, this is a big opportunity for agriculture. It's one that I think the consumer needs to be able to understand and maybe support. Now, this can also be a new economic area for farmers as we're going forward too. And I think that's one that we're starting to get a grapple a little more on. But we're working hard in these areas. Sustainability is important for the land, for the water, but I think it's also important for the wildlife. We can do better. Technology will help us do better. There is a commitment to do better. And I think with that in mind, we're in the right track. Are we going fast enough? Probably not. But we're going as quick as we can. And as new technologies come on that allows us to learn more, to adapt more to, the CRISPR technologies and all those things are probably going to help us too. But we're in the early phases of that. But one thing has not changed. And that is the commitment of the farm to continue to be able to be as sustainable as they can. Because if we take shortcuts, we know what the consequences are, and that isn't pretty. So sustainability is an important deal.